Hey, I got my new friend Jason here with me today. Jason's got a 2-day-old John Deere 2032R. Welcome.
Thanks. Still got the nubblies on the tires, like you said.
Yeah. 4 hours on this tractor. Jason said he'd put about a half an hour on it himself. I saw him mow his front yard a few minutes ago, and it was just drive down and drive back. That's all there was to the front yard. So that's another story we may have to get into at a later point.
Yeah.
But Jason has the self-leveling loader, the MSL loader for the 2 Series. We have the non-self-leveling. We're going to do some comparisons on that. So let's get started. So we're both fully curled at this point.
I am all curled.
So let's start upward. Just slow and easy upward. Okay, so that's what it looks like fully curled.
Yep.
You can see my bucket would be dumping everything out at this point. Let's flatten our buckets. So I want the bucket, bottom of the bucket to be level. A little more on yours. That's pretty good. So assuming the ground is level here, assuming our tires are the same height, we have different tires, so the tractors are not identical. The non-self-leveling is a couple of inches taller. I think my tires may be a little bit taller. Let's dump it all the way. I assume Jason's dumps a little bit more than mine, or does it? But if we start back down, Jason's will bind. So the fully dumped position on the ground is very similar. This is a position you don't want to use if you're trying to back drag or forward push with those cylinders fully extended on either loader. That's risky. If you're going to do any back dragging, you want to make sure that you have your loader bucket turned such that maybe a 45-degree angle like this, maybe a little bit more on if you're going from my side here. So here's an example of the curl. The booms look to be basically the same height, but the non-self-leveling will curl all the way back flat. We can fill that with rock, shake it, we won't lose any off the front. I hate to even put rock in the front of this one, it's brand new. This is the example of not quite curling as far as we'd like. Jason, what we're going to do here, I don't know if you've seen any of our lift tests in the past, but what we're going to do here is we're going to use the same tractor. We'll use my tractor, the 2038R. We're going to test the lift height with the bottom of the bucket level, and we'll take out 100 pounds at a time.
Okay.
I've got 1,700 pounds in it now. I've already tested it to make sure that it will just barely lift it, and that's consistent with the tests that I've done in the past.
Right.
But we'll run through these real fast just to make sure that it's consistent with what I've shown in the past on this tractor. The pressure test we'll do in the middle while we're changing loaders. We are going to use a different bucket. We're going to use your brand new bucket. It's the same model. We don't have any hooks, anything on ours, so it should be identical.
Yep.
It's just yours has got a different amount of dust on it. So if we're down to that level of detail, that's all we can do.
You're looking for another test at that point.
So let's make sure this will lift this off the ground. We always go at full throttle. I believe that is off the ground.
Definitely up.
Now as I lift, I have to make sure I continue to tilt with this machine. Now I typically measure kind of at the front of the back part, or the flat part. I'll show you here and you can do the measuring, okay? The floor is not quite level here.
Right.
But notice that says about, oh, I don't know, 6 1/4. And then I make sure that this is pretty consistent back here. About that same 6 1/4.
Yep.
If it's not, then I want to redo it.
Just to make sure it's level.
And so I got, what did we say, 6 1/4 there?
Yep.
For 1,600 pounds.
It's at 16 dead on in the back, 16 and maybe an 1/8 or something.
Okay, well that's as accurate as we're gonna get.
Okay.
So you're saying 16 inches
Yep.
for 1,500 pounds. I want to say 27.
Yeah. 36 and a half, 37.
37 on the front.
Yep. 47 in the back, 47 in the front.
1,000 pounds, 70.5. Let's just say 73 for 980. Yeah, that was the max.
78 and a half. 78 and a half.
Okay.
27?
Mine's sustained about 27.
Yeah. I mean, it's up, but barely.
It's off the ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all that counts. See,
It's coming up every time.
I have that peak of pressure.
Yeah.
Remember how the peak worked?
And then it holds
You can actually see it. This is not a valid measurement. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, for sure.
The pressure jumps up and then comes back down a
It
little.
was hitting like 31, 32.
3,100 and then comes back down.
One in the front.
That right there is amazing.
13 and 3/4.
That's 1,700 pounds.
Right. It's 25 and a quarter at the back, 25 and 3/4 at the front.
Okay, I'll tilt it down before we go any more.
36 and 3/4.
Okay. At 36 and 3/4, we had 1,300 pounds last time.
It's still going.
We didn't see that with my loader, where it just kept going really slowly like that.
55 and a quarter it is. 74 and a quarter. 75 and a quarter.
So 75. Let's. I'll do this again, and I'll tilt it back a little bit before I do that. It looks like right at that last little bit.
It does
dumps a
push
little bit.
forward. Yeah, you see it right there.
So that's definitely full height. What I noticed is that last 100 pounds, we took that out, and it went up over 22 inches.
Well, and it said in the manual 1337.
To full height.
Uh-huh.
Really, it's 76.
76.
That's 1,300 versus 940 for the other loader.
And if we throw that, it should pick that same thing up to with another 40 pounds.
Oh, it'll take at least 40. I'm going to try 80.
Yeah.
This is 1380, right?
Yep. 56 and a half.
I'm stunned at that. I think what's happening is when we get right up there to the top, I don't know if you noticed, it went slow and it just kept going, which I can't fully explain. We got right up there at the top and it started to dump a little bit, and then it went right on up.
Yep.
And so I think the act of, it's kind of even though it's staying level, that's almost a continual dumping angle on the, because a non-self-leveling would be pulling back like this, right? Exactly. So it's continually dumping, and it just goes up slowly like that. It's really amazing to me. And then it gets right there at the top, and for whatever reason, the geometry doesn't let it stay level, so it just goes right on up.
Right.
So we get that 1340, or this is 1340, and we got all the way to, we'll measure the height there. I'll tilt it or curl it a little bit more, and we'll do that again and see if we can make it to full height again. It goes real slowly here, but if we can get over the hump, it'll just go right on up. We're gonna make it. Here it goes. Okay, Jason, so here's what we got. We saw that the max lift height of the non-self-leveling was still 2 inches higher than this one.
And that follows suit with the 120.
Same thing we saw on the 120. At that max height, we got 900 pounds with the non-self-leveling.
Right.
With this one, we got 1,340 pounds.
It's a pretty substantial difference.
That's every bit of their
Yep.
40%, maybe even more.
Absolutely.
Used the same tractor, same pressure, about 2,700 PSI. Now let's talk about the other extreme. Right at ground level, we were able to get, with this loader, the self-leveling loader, 1,840 pounds off the ground.
Yep.
And 1,700 with the other loader. So the other loader wasn't as far off at ground level. The advantage began to show up more and more as we got higher.
Yep. Through the arc, it really does gain.
Now, one other thing we could visualize is with the non-self-leveling, the tractor would lift it up and really just kind of, it would slow down, but it would stop pretty quickly.
Yep.
With this one, I would just hold the lever and it would very, very slowly continue to creep up. That was...
Yeah, I would love to know the geometry or the reasoning behind that, how it works.
Overall, what we haven't shown in this video is the #1 reason for a self-leveling loader, and that is using forks. But we were here to show the lift capacity, and we've accomplished that. We've shown the different curl angles. You know, we've showed those pieces. The main reason to get this loader is for use with the forks. But in this case, a byproduct is an enormous capacity.
The raw numbers really tell the difference.
Yeah. You can look at these two graphs right now on the screen side by side, and you can see that the MSL is just overall higher capacity at all height ranges.
Absolutely.
Jason, I appreciate you sharing your brand new loader with us. I hope we didn't scuff up the bucket too much.
I appreciate you having the weights to do it.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been fascinating. I would say 2 thumbs up on the 220R MSL loader. I don't see any reason not to go with it.
I'm glad I waited the extra 2 weeks.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on
Tractor Time with Tim.